Promotional consideration furnished by Now Sports with Chris Dewar from the University of Illinois Sports Desk.
And tip-top of the evening, everybody, and welcome to Sports Final. Well, there will be no Prospect League baseball in the summer of 2020 here or anywhere. The latest collateral damage of the COVID-19 pandemic. League Commissioner Dennis Bastian, via press release, justified the decision as acknowledging, quote, the reality of our responsibility to the teams of people who make our season possible and that it could not be met in the manner in which we felt necessary. Quincy Gems general manager Jimmy Louthan acknowledged via release simply that, quote, these are the cards we've been dealt. Interestingly, 3 Prospect League teams, the Hoots, the Corn Belters, and the Sliders, have all announced they will play 30-game slates at home beginning July the 1st, absent league sanctioning against who we do not know yet, but that is their lay of the land. The Gems, meanwhile, are committed, it seems, to playing again in 2021 and not before. Let's talk some better baseball news. Over in Korea, Eric Jokic, the pride of Virginia, Illinois, continues to dazzle in the Korean baseball organization as he gets his 4th straight win today, 4-0 on the season, and lowers an already minuscule 1.17 ERA coming into the day. 7 innings of scoreless baseball with 9 strikeouts and the victory today in a win over KT Wiz. Well, the lack of a high school baseball season allowed Jacksonville route catcher Ian Hayes a chance to mend a torn labrum in his shoulder. Neither contingency, however, will dull his future within the game. The 2019 All-WIVC selection and Rocket Defensive MVP signed on Thursday with hometown Illinois College, a .328 lifetime hitter with 38 career RBI, who went all of 2019 behind the plate without committing a single error.
The campus is really nice, and they marketed themselves pretty well. They've got great facilities, and they're just a good overall program, and I thought it was the best fit for me. They told me that they're graduating 2 of their catchers, and that's my main position, but they also want to try to turn me more into a utility player and explore other options is position-wise. Obviously, I'm never going to be 100% again, and coming off of the last season I had worries me a little bit, but I'm excited. I plan to go into law enforcement after college, and I'm thinking about getting a business degree as more of a backup plan.
Well, they enjoyed a 21 season and a bid to the national tournament, but there were not remotely believable end games, at least those weren't, for Culver Stockton's women's basketball when Jeanette Bergen took the job nearly 8 years ago.
We're still trying to get that respect. I think we're close. I think we've gotten it from some, but not everybody yet. And I think the fun part is, as a coach, you tell your kids stay in the present. Stay in the future, stay in the present, continue to work, push forward, move forward, have your head looking forward. But as a coach, I think you have to look at all aspects. I think that's part of our job. I think you have to look in the rear view mirror and be kind of like, okay, that's where we came from. We got to make sure that we never go backwards, because some of these players, we're getting to the point where when I first took over this program, they weren't here. They don't know the struggle it was to get to this point. The future is bright for this program. Culver Stockton is one of those that everyone's like, you're crazy taking that job. But ultimately, I think it just takes some passion, some work ethic, and I think we have the right kids to continue to move this thing forward.
To your point there, and maybe I'm extrapolating here, but your atmosphere is better. And it seems like that's not just, Culver Stockton women's basketball. It seems like the fact that football's better and other sports are starting to take that step up. There's really a vibe on campus that you guys have kind of tapped into.
Absolutely. When you're talking about building a program, building a culture, you're not just building it for that particular sport. I think overall as an athletic department, Culver Stockton has done a fantastic job. I think that we have the right coaches coaching the players. I think the mentality is correct. There's a sense of pride on campus, to be fair, when I played at QU, we stomped on Culver all the time, and you made that comment about Courtney Boyd talking about Culver and how bad they were, that's all everybody ever said. And I'm like, stop. just stop saying that, because the more and more you say it, it's just a negative term. You have to find the positive in everything. So yeah, I mean, I was talking to somebody the other day about my very first year here, and I only had 4 wins as a coach, and it was embarrassing. I hated it, you know. But moving into like the recruiting and things like that, I think it made my job a little bit easier, because we had a really solid win in Mid-America at Nazarene. They were I think they were number 4 in the country when we beat them, and we were terrible, you know. So telling other coaches that it's possible.
Indeed, we'll talk about how possible the future is coming up on Saturday right here at KHQA as we take a deep dive on the roster, the incoming recruits, and everything else that Jeanette Bergen has planned for the future of Lady Wildcat basketball. Now, you'll have to wait until Tuesday for his Tri-State Triumphs piece, which I swear is going to be really good. But there was no way I was getting an audience with IHSA basketball schoolboy legend and 1997 Warsaw Wildcat Bill Heisler without asking about his high school coach's return to the bench at his alma mater. And Bill didn't disappoint in his take on Jeff Dahl.
Full circle, right? Man, when he came in and I got to know him when I was a freshman. He had the 1 year at the lower levels before taking over. You could just tell that there was going to be a shift in mindset, and it was going to become something where there was confidence and an expectation to win, you know, and he instilled that. And to see it come full circle, I think you're going to get the same thing. It's a little bit different situation now because he's also replacing a legend, you know, in Reno. And what those two guys have been able to do for basketball in that area is incredible. I mean, they really made this 90s relevant from a basketball standpoint in that area. And I think he's going to bring a lot of those same things with him. I think Johnny on his staff is going to provide some incredible young energy, you know, because he's getting a little older now. So he needs Johnny to come in and give him that. But they're going to definitely keep that ship moving right in the right direction, just like Marino's had it going for a while.
And again, an extended conversation. It was a great one today with Bill Heisler coming on Tuesday as part of KHQA's Tri-State Triumphs. That's it for me. Have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll see you right back here on Saturday for that deep dive on Culver Stop.